This is the MGTOW Infinium here with another Infinium short take. This Infinium short take is entitled The Inevitability of Inevitability. My brothers, on an ever-increasing scale, womanists are finding out the hard way that defeat is inevitable when it comes to their appointment with the wall. And as well, womanists are also finding out the hard way that lack of accountability for their actions only serves to exacerbate the intensity of that defeat. The aforementioned only leads to the shocking awe effect of being defeated by the wall, also experienced by womanists when they find that there is nothing they can do to prevent the inevitable from happening. Which, even if womanists persist in maintaining their physical beauty post-wall, defeat is still inevitable because the wall has multifaceted ways of taking women down. My brothers, Lolo Jones, a famous female athlete, has been in the news lately because of her age and her inability to find a husband. Lolo, who also claims to have an untouched vajayjay, has been quite open about her desperation to get married and to have a family. Because of the aforementioned issues, Lolo has resorted to freezing her eggs in an effort to prevent the inevitable. My brothers, the following is a GMA report which covers Lolo's fertility struggles and what she is going through in terms of the egg freezing process. In the use of this content, I cite fair use policies. Here now is the report.
Really interesting what everyone. Olympian Lolo Jones is speaking candidly about her fertility journey, now 40 years old and still looking for a partner to raise a family with. So Jones is taking steps that she's hoping will allow her to have children one day. Juju sat down with Lolo in an exclusive interview. Good morning, Juju.
Good morning to you, Cecilia. You know, Lolo Jones is a world-class athlete. Gorgeous, super healthy. But when she set out to freeze her eggs, she was shocked to learn that 40 can easily be too late. So she wants to tell other women all the things she wishes somebody had told her.
Being a good mom is very difficult, especially in today's society. And so it has me nervous. Like, do I have the capabilities, the skill set to care for someone, you know? But I'd like a chance.
Olympic hurdler and bobsledder Lolo Jones, one of an elite group to compete in both the Winter and Summer Games. No stranger to overcoming obstacles.
Lolo Jones has the lead.
Now at 40, Lolo is facing a completely different hurdle.
You want to be a mom?
I want to be a mom, yeah.
The athlete speaking to us exclusively about her fertility journey after years searching for the one, Lolo deciding to freeze her eggs.
You keep having hope that you're going to meet someone. And then every year that goes by, you're like, oh, I'm not like meeting my husband. Like, you start to get more anxious. And then here's the crazy thing about all this. I've been crashing a bobsled at 90 miles an hour. I've had hamstring injury, spine surgery, and nothing was more terrifying than starting to even look up the process of egg freezing.
Lolo sharing her emotional journey on Instagram.
There's a lot of stress on me right now.
Injecting herself with hormones for 11 days in a row before surgery to extract the eggs.
I was like, what dose? Like, I'd forgotten my dosage, and so
It's like a chemistry class.
Yeah, I learned, like I said, I was not meant to be a doctor. And then
You're born with a certain number of eggs, going through that bank as you get older. Egg freezing is an opportunity to halt that process and bide time to build a family.
People undertake this treatment if they're trying to get the ticking time clock out of their head, trying to take the stress off of their dating decisions, and be able to really feel like they might have an insurance policy in the freezer.
Lolo's doctors retrieving 27 eggs during the procedure. 17 are mature and viable candidates for fertilization down the road.
With numbers like that, she has much higher statistical power of having a success with that group of eggs.
But the egg freezing process is never a sure thing.
this is the thing about egg freezing that people should know. It is not a guarantee to have a kid.
In theory, those eggs can be kept frozen without losing quality for thousands of years, giving Lolo more time to find her match. But dating, she says, hasn't been easy.
Trust me, I've been on some amazing dates. It has not worked out. But if the right person is for me, they will be willing to stick through it all. I want a guy who's gonna love me through it all.
You've been very public about maintaining your virginity.
Yes.
Is that,
People hate that.
but ultimately, no regrets?
What do you mean no regrets? Are you kidding me? Like, I'm sitting here and I have nobody. No, there's times for sure where it's really hard. I'm a strong Christian, and that's the gift I want to give to my husband.
It's one thing to do this privately. What made you want to share it?
So, I know. Why did I decide to share this? Because I wish someone had shared this with me years ago. I'm on the brink of waiting too late.
Now, egg freezing can cost anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000. It's improving. One report found that roughly 20% of big companies offer coverage for egg freezing, which doesn't just increase your chances of pregnancy, guys, but healthier pregnancy outcomes down the road.
Important that she's talking about this, though.
My brothers, Lola is just a tip of the iceberg when it comes to women who are facing defeat because of the wall, but cannot accept the fact that defeat is inevitable, thus making all their efforts futile against the shock and awe effects of a wall which is beyond defeat. Specifically, in Lola's case, the shock and awe effects of an undefeatable wall she is now facing are the following. Number 1, the overall indifference of men. Men are simply not interested in women like Lolo, even with their fame and stature, because of the high price of being in relationships with them. As well, men realize that women like Lolo will not be submissive to men who marry them because of their fame and stature becoming dominant in the relationship. Number 2, failure to take accountability for her actions. Part of Lolo's problem is that, like most women, she thought she could have her cake and eat it too. But in reality, and particularly when it comes to a woman's childbearing age versus being a world-class athlete, one must give up one option in favor of another. Here, it is Lolo's own actions in ignoring the limitations of the female childbearing age range which have put her in the position that she's in. Number 3, putting the blame totally on men because they are not being sufficient enough to meet her overinflated standards. Throughout the report, there was a noticeable intimation that Lolo's problems are because of the lack of available men who are capable of living up to her standards. In reality, it is the overvaluation of herself combined with the truth that she cannot live up to the standards of men who would take a chance on marrying her, which is at the heart of Lolo's problems. And as well, her tendency to publicly embarrass men who have failed to live up to her standards. Number 4, Lolo apparently doesn't have game. Right now, women like Lolo cannot figure out why women like Brittany Renner are able to attract men with ease, whereas quality women like Lolo struggle when it comes to attracting men. Simply put, Brittany Renner is good at what she does, hoodwinking simps. Also simply put, women like Lolo lack the hoodwinking skills that women like Brittany have, only adding to the consternation when it comes to men not wanting to marry them. In reality, however, the inevitable also waits for women like Brittany as her ability to hoodwink men diminishes day by day. Number 5, that marriage in itself is a trap which has absolutely no benefit to men who do marry. The aforementioned, combined with the now sky-high divorce rates and the incidences where men are stripped of everything including their dignity in divorce court, is only adding to the numbers of men who avoid marriage like the plague. And also, the growing number of women like Lolo who cannot find men who want to marry them. My brothers, don't let yourselves be caught up in a whirlwind of women's efforts to be married before they hit the wall hard. Also keep in mind that there is absolutely no benefit to men to be married, even if it's a Lolo Jones who has an untouched vajayjay. Remember, as MGTOW men, your freedom and your right to be free takes precedence over the enslavement of marriage in every way possible. This is the MGTOW Infinium, and this has been an Infinium Short Take. My MGTOW brothers, as always, stay safe, stay strong, stay on the MGTOW path, and remember, MGTOW is the liberation of men's minds. MGTOW cannot and will not be stopped.